What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is gonna be your review of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 12, episode 6. So we start this episode off. We see Miss Tanya and Portia hanging out. They're down in one of them little clinics to help Portia get the little snap back. They got her hooked up to some machine that's gonna help pull the organs back together. And she said it's like doing 20,000 sit-ups in 2 minutes. I need the number. Yeah, but they're having a good time and they're talking and everything. And what we find out is that Tanya is inviting the ladies to Carnival. Tanya is from Canada, I believe, and they're going to Carnival in Canada. And of course, Portia is just excited, and they are just dancing around the doctor's office and all kinds of stuff. It was cool, but it was cute. It was definitely, you saw that her and Tanya have definitely built their own friendship. And so that was fun. Then we have an interesting moment with Todd and Kandi and Todd's oldest daughter. And they took a trip this summer to London. The daughter wants to get into fashion, and so he took her this summer to go meet a designer. And they had some, daddy daughter time over in London, and she was saying how she's going to move to New York because she really wants to go to FIT and really get into the fashion industry. She feels like she has a more opportunities living in New York than living in Atlanta, and that's originally where she's from. Is from New York, so it's not a big deal for her to move back to New York. Now, I don't know why they have her be Riley's roommate this summer, but I guess Riley was only going to be in New York for the summer, where she would be moving permanently to New York. And I guess, you know, that apartment ain't, a long term situation, what have you. But anyway, but what we find out though is that the two of them have some daddy daughter issues. She feels like Todd is not emotionally available to her enough. She said the only time you show me any emotion is when you're angry. Like all I get from you is anger, and you just don't know how to open up and be available to me. Now, Kandi didn't have a whole lot to input into that. Kandi said, "Look, Todd is great with Ace, but Todd and I think her name is Kayla. Their relationship is strained, and they've had these ups and downs." And she said, "It bothers me because we're getting ready to have a girl, and so I don't know if this is just how he deals with a girl or the way their relationship is." She said, "But because that is his biological daughter, I tend to stay out of it. I tend to let them do their own thing. I'm here, but I don't want to insert myself too much into it." She said, "But what Todd has to understand though is when she's telling him how she feels, he needs to receive it. He needs to receive what she's saying to him." And I don't feel like Todd did. I don't think Todd understood what she was trying to say to him. He said, "I'm just trying to prepare her for the real world, and I'm just trying to get her to understand how this goes in the real world." And I'm like, but you don't have to be hard to for people to understand the real world. Like I felt like I'm with Kandi. I feel like Todd was sort of missing it. And the thing that I hate to see is I know she's older now. She's in high school. I mean, she's out of high school. Excuse me. She's a college level age student. Um, I just hate to see you not taking advantage of the time that you guys have been spending together. Because once she moves to New York, she's probably never coming back and living back at home with you guys. And so you're sort of missing this moment, right? Then we see Kenya has, and the only reason I'm only reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's going to become important later on in the episode. Kenya, her edge control product seems to be doing well. We see her at a business meeting, and she said that they're in Sally's beauty supply, and that it's been so successful that they've been able to up it to they've been able to up their supply. Um, Okay. So I'm happy for you, Miss Kenya. Then we saw Cynthia making guacamole. And Cynthia does and what Cynthia did here is the reason why I don't be eating at people's potlucks. She put the spoon in the bowl to taste it. And then she was gonna put the spoon back in the bowl. And Noelle was like, "Don't you do that? What is wrong with you?" Now y'all know she does it all the time. She just didn't do it when somebody was watching, but y'all know she does it all the time, right? And she talking about something. What are you talking about? I gave birth to you. I don't give a daggone what you did. That's nasty. And see, that's why. That's why you don't eat at people's potlucks. Because that's nasty. You're going to taste it and you're going to put the spoon back in the damn food. Nasty. And if she did it then and she was comfortable doing it with the camera, knowing the camera was on her, she do it all the time. Don't don't eat nothing from Cynthia's potluck. I'm just telling you. Now, some interesting things started happening down to the Atlanta here. Uh Nene reached out to Kandi to go to lunch. Now, we know that at the reunion, Nene was not here for Kandi. She felt like Kandi was one of the people that sort of betrayed her with this whole closet situation, and she was not here for Kandi. And so, that was a real contentious. And Kandi said that she hadn't really talked to Nene. Nene said she was going to come to one of the dungeon shows. I don't think she showed up. I feel like they said she didn't come, whatever. But she went to lunch to see, what's going on. So while they were at lunch, um, they talked a little bit about, they talked about what they was going to talk about, of course. But of course, they had to get on to Cynthia, honey. And at Pride, how her and Cynthia spoke and everything. And she was saying how, you know, um, their relationship. And Kandi said, well, you did do an interview right before Pride or while they were at Pride, basically dogging Cynthia out. And and Nene was like, yeah, but I was just responding. I mean, she said she did 8 interviews about me before I said anything. So I was just responding. Now, I don't know, to be perfectly honest about the matter, but I do know Cynthia was going on a tour, a tour. And I know Cynthia had a lot to say and she did do some interviews. So, I mean, from that point of view, I could kind of see where Nene's coming from a little bit. But then Nene went on to talk about how Cynthia's been talking about her privately. And she said, yeah, she doesn't know that I know, but a mutual friend of ours taped her talking about me. So, of course, Kandi was like, oh, oh boy. And, and she was like, and so, now I know that you know that I know type of thing. And then they went on to talk about, she let Kandi let her know that she was having a baby through the surrogacy. They talked about Nene also let Kandi know that she was seeing a life coach and how she was really ready to just be in a better space. They talked about Greg. They just kind of caught up. Like you could tell they were just catching up on what was going on. Fact versus what was in the blogs. Of course, they talked about Dennis and the bestiality and all of that. But the biggest thing that came out of that was that Nene let it be known that a mutual friend taped Cynthia talking trash about her and reported it back. So of course, next thing you know, we see Kandi, Cynthia, and Kenya out at the hardware store because Cynthia is about to do some work on her bedroom, honey, to make room for Mike. Child, she ain't a bit more about to build nothing for Mike than the man in the moon, honey. Y'all know that. But okay, if y'all want me down to the hardware store to have this conversation, that's fine. And Kandi basically let Cynthia know, like, look, you might want to be checking folk at the door because apparently Nene has a tape of you talking trash about her to some mutual friend that y'all have. And to Cynthia's credit, Cynthia was like, look, child, I don't care. Like, it's whatever. She has a tape of me talking trash about her, then oh well, she got a tape of me talking trash. I could care less. Whatever she got to say, it is what it is. And so, and of course, Kenya had to put her little 2 cents in it, honey. But Cynthia's attitude was basically like, I really don't care. Like, if she heard me saying something, then oh well, she heard me saying something. I could care less about it. And I'm like, we really are seeing a different Cynthia this year. Like, this is a whole different woman. You know what I mean? Now she showed a little bit of the old Cynthia in a little while. We'll get to that in a second. But she really was giving us like, I don't care, whatever, Nene. I ain't tripping off of you, Nene. I could care less what you got to say about me, Nene. Um, but then they were trying to figure out who they think it is. Now, I'm gonna say this. I think it's that damn Joanna. And that's who I think it is. So Marlo was having her wig launch party. Eva was like, yeah, I won't be there. Thanks, but no thanks. Because she said that Marlo even sent her a separate invitation. And she was like, thank you, but no thank you. I won't be there. Um, Cynthia told Eva about the whole private conversation, the private, the tape, and they were trying to figure out who it is. And it sounds like Eva thinks it's Joanna too. But they also giving Marlo the side eye, like it could be Marlo, because we know Marlo does ride for Nene. So it could be Marlo. But I don't think it's Marlo. I don't think that's Marlo. But they were talking about the party or whatever. And so she said, "Well, I'm gonna go and support Marlo until I have a reason not to. Until I feel like something different has gone down, I will go and support." Um, and Eva said, "Well, y'all have a good time. I won't be there." And we see Tanya, Portia, and Shamir headed to the wig launch. And Portia does not see it for Nene at all. If y'all remember that things between her and Nene got very nasty. I mean, to the point where Portia posted the text messages between the two of them, and Nene said some really nasty things about her, called her all kinds of fat and this, that, and the other. And so she said, I was supposed to be her little sister, whatever, but she really went left on me really badly, and I just don't see it for her. So they all headed to the party, minus, and Kenya supposedly wasn't coming, Eva not coming, but everybody else is headed to the party. And of course, Shawana is there, honey, front row center. Um, and Kandi and Cynthia asked Shawana, "Do you think are you the one that's taping Cynthia's conversations?" And Shawana was like, "Well, who said that?" And as soon as she said it, I was like, "It was her. It was her." And then she said, "I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything." I said, "Me thinks she protests too much." I believe it's Joanna. Now, they're gonna have to prove me wrong on that one, but I believe that's exactly who it was. And I think it was that same conversation that she was talking about at the Bailey Q last week, where Cynthia said, "Yes, I did say some things about Nene. I was defending myself." So I feel like it's that same conversation. But okay. Now we get to the wig launch party. Now, any event that's given by Miss Fabulous herself, Miss Haute Couture, Marlo, I expected to be a different level. It looked nice, but I expected this thing to be, linen napkins and I don't know, plush carpet and gold champagne glasses. I don't know, but it did look like it was a nice event. So I'm being petty. It was a nice event. Cynthia showed up in her nice little wig, honey, and Joanna was there, and Kandi came through. Now Kandi, I peeped you got a new car, girl. Did y'all see that? Y'all saw Kandi got that Bentley truck. Y'all peeped that? White. I ain't mad at you, baby. Um, so then, like I said, so Portia, Tanya and Shamia showed up. Um, Marlo came out with her nephews, and they had this cute shirt. Her theme is talking about I am her, and so they had T-shirts talking about some of my aunt is her. It was really cute. She introduced herself and she spoke on her wigs and said that there's 7 wigs for 7 days of the week because a woman should feel who she is every day of the week and all that good stuff and feel confident who she is every day of the week. And they played music, and of course, while they were doing all of that, here comes Miss Nene walking through the door. And y'all know they had to be real dramatic about it, Nene coming up in there, whatever. Um, and baby, when I tell you Portia curbed her, Portia saw Nene and was like, and did everything in her power to avoid speaking to Nene. And Portia was like, "Cause I'm not gonna be fake. Like, I'm not doing you. I'm not messing with you, and I'm not gonna be fake about it. So it is what it is. Everybody else can speak and hi and hi with her, and I'm not doing none of that. I'm moving on and deuces. I'm out." So Marlo had them play this game where they had to take a wig and they had to style it according to the certain specifications. And so she had Portia going against Nene, I guess, thinking that would force them to talk. And they were doing they were styling their little wigs, honey, and it looked like they were having a good time. Then all of a sudden you start hearing this drum beat, and you see these two people walking along with Kenya behind them, honey, with her edge control products, going back to what I was telling y'all earlier about her little hair care company. I think it's called More Hair Care or something like that. Baby, Kenya's trifling, disrespectful, nasty ass gonna come in there, interrupt Marlo's party with edge control. Now let's be clear. We know that edge control and wigs They don't match, okay? They oil and vinegar or oil and water. They don't blend. Why in the world would you it was like the level of disrespect, the level. And again, Kenya, you known for these stunts, and some people love you for it. But I thought that had, and I ain't even no Marlo fan. Like I don't dislike Marlo, but Marlo gets on my nerves sometimes. Marlo does too much. But I thought that had to be the most disrespectful thing. You have somebody here who's trying to do something different, who's trying to create a situation and create a business for herself, and you interrupted, and then you giving out free products and stuff. And then Marlo was trying to have security escort her out, and she refused to leave. So you're gonna crash the party, then you're gonna refuse to leave when I ask you to leave? See, Kenya, you was doing too much. That was, to me, that had to be the worst. I really felt bad for Marlo. But I'm gonna say this to you though, Marlo. Marlo, you handled that thing like a trooper. Because at first Marlo said, "Oh yes, we know that edges are very important. See, look, my edges are gone too. Da 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 da." And she rolled with it for a minute. But because Kenya didn't get the response she wanted, she kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And then that's when finally Marlo was like, "Security, I need her to get up out of here." And she wouldn't leave. And so they got to arguing back and forth, honey. And Nene made her exit stage left. Joanna gonna follow her out to the parking lot, talking about some, "Nene, why you leaving? Why you leaving?" Nene said, "I don't want to be that person." She said, "I have been there and I have done that. I don't want to fight. I don't want to argue." She said, "And if I stay up in here much longer, it's going to be a problem." And she said, "Well, what about Marlo? That's your friend. That's your friend." Then he said, "Marlo is fine. Marlo can handle this without me. Marlo does not need my help." And Joanna, girl, Joanna went to go touch Nene. Nene said, "Don't put your hand on my window. Joanna, don't you, I'm not playing with you. Don't you touch my window." Said, "Okay." But Yolanda was out there begging Nene to stay. And I understand where Nene's coming from. If Nene really truly is trying to be a better person and trying to stay out of the mess, then she made the best decision. She really did. She really did. And I don't think that was a moment of Nene trying to make it about her or make a big to do. I really don't. Now she's done that, and there have been times when I did feel like she was doing that, but I don't feel like this was that moment. I really, really don't. But yes, honey, Nene was like, yeah, I gotta get up out of here. Then after all of that, Kenya finally does leave, talking about something. She gotta go check on Brooklyn. And that was when the ladies were sitting there having a conversation. And you could tell that um Marla was really upset. You could tell Marla was genuinely upset by what Kenya had done. And Cynthia gonna say, "Oh yeah, I wish she hadn't done that. But I mean, I'm glad she did come to support." Cynthia, what is wrong with you? It was nothing about what Kenya did that was support. That was all about shade and being disrespectful and being for lack of a better word, a bitch. There was nothing supportive about what that woman did to Marlo. It wasn't meant to be that way in any way, shape, or form. It was downright disrespectful. And I get it that Cynthia is your friend, but there was no way. I mean, that Kenya is your friend, but there was no way for you to spin that one, Cynthia. You were better off just not saying nothing. And like Marlo said, I have more respect for Eva because at least Eva just didn't come. Eva just didn't come. Anyway, y'all, that's where it ended. We saw, that's pretty much where it ended. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments, please.